Welcome to our recap of Hell's Paradise, the thrilling anime series that has captivated viewers with its dark and gripping storyline. In this video, we will be covering the first 6 episodes of this anime, highlighting the key moments and intriguing plot developments. So if you are a fan of an action-packed samurai tales and intense character dynamics, make sure to stay tuned. Episode 1. The anime starts with an execution scene where the protagonist Gabimaru is about to be executed. However, to everyone's surprise, the executioner's sword breaks upon striking Gabimaru's undamaged neck. Perplexed by his immortality, Gabimaru begins to question the meaning of his existence. During the interview, a female inspector questions Gabimaru about the failed execution. Gabimaru acknowledges that the blade wasn't strong enough to harm him and admits to possessing ninjutsu abilities. However, when the inspector requests him to showcase his skills, Gabimaru declines to comply. Gabimaru survives both a spear impalement and burning at the stake, remaining unharmed. Gabimaru reveals that his parents were killed by his village chief when he was an infant. As a shinobi, he has no dreams and only follows orders to kill. He was arrested after attempting to desert the village. Gabimaru survives yet another execution attempt where bulls are supposed to tear him apart, but he still survives. The inspector notices Gabimaru's subtle resistance despite his acceptance of death and asks him about his reasons for leaving Iwagakure. Gabimaru reveals that he was the strongest shinobi in Iwagakure and was chosen to marry the chief's daughter. He found her dull and requested a solution from his chief. In return, he was assigned a final mission and finds out it was a setup for his capture. Gabimaru explains that he chose arrest over escape to avoid Iwagakure's pursuit. Gabimaru is taken to his next execution by the magistrate and his men. He discovers that the female inspector Yamada Seoman Sagiri is from a skilled clan of sword testers and executioners. The magistrate orders Sagiri to execute Gabimaru, but he manages to dodge her attacks, surprising himself. Sagiri reveals that Gabimaru is lying to himself about wanting to die because he loves his wife and is attached to life. This revelation angers Gabimaru and he denies her claims, considering himself hollow. In a past memory, Gabimaru's wife assures him that he is a kind person despite his belief otherwise. She explains that her dream of living an ordinary life was shattered by her father, but she believes that people's hearts do not die so easily. She kisses him, showing that he is not hollow. As Gabimaru continues to fight against Sagiri, he recalls how he asked the Iwagakure chief for the permission to live his life of violence and live peacefully with his wife, which led to his arrest. Sagiri reveals that he can gain a normal life and presents an official pardon that dismisses his past crimes along with the Shogun's protections. However, in order to receive this, he must travel to the underworld, a place called Shinsenkyo, and retrieve the Elixir of life for the Shogun. Many previous expeditions failed, with only a boat and corpse returning adorned with flowers. Other death row convicts also seek the pardon, and Sagiri believes Gabimaru is a suitable candidate due to his skill and strong will to live. She informs him that his wife awaits his return in seclusion. The magistrate, refusing to release Gabimaru, faces resistance. Recalling his wife's words about resilient hearts, Gabimaru uses his ninjutsu to scorch the man with flames, impressing Sagiri. Holding her blade to the magistrate's neck, she informs Gabimaru that he has accepted the mission to find the elixir of life. They must travel to Edo before heading to the island. Despite initially complaining, Gabimaru becomes determined to face any obstacles in order to see his wife again. Episode 2. Sagiri reflects on her childhood and her admiration for her father's sword skills, which she witnessed during an execution. She feels burdened by the life she has taken and seeks to overcome her fear and doubt. In the present, she places a mask on Gabimaru and contemplates a life where she can take lives without hesitation. In Edo, the death row convicts gathered for a briefing by the Shogun. Sagiri recognizes some familiar criminals, including Adichie Matagoro, whom she contemplates cutting down without fear. Gabimaru complains about wearing the mask and catches the attention of kunoichi named Yuzuriha, who is disappointed with his appearance. Sagiri questions if Gabimaru is truly as dangerous as rumored and becomes unsettled when she sees her blade reflecting his bloody image. The criminals are given permission to remove their masks, and they learn about the dangers of the island from a retainer who shows them a sergeant covered in flowers, the only survivor from the previous expedition. The criminals start to worry, but the retainer reminds them that this mission is a favor from the Shogun, despite their death row status. Nurugai questions the existence of the Elixir of life, and the retainer offers them two choices to leave, resulting in the criminal being beheaded. The retainer explains that the criminals will be monitored by Yamada Seomons and must keep their monitors alive to return safely. Gabimaru asks Sagiri about this, and she reassures him. The retainer, following the shogun's order, instructs the criminals to reduce their numbers to fit the limited space on the ship. Asa Chobe clarifies that they have to end each other until only a few remain, and the retainer confirms this, emphasizing the need to keep their hands restrained. Meanwhile, Sagiri is approached by Aizen, who questions her ability to handle the brutality they will face on the island. Sagiri reflects on her upbringing in the Yamada clan, where death was inevitable, and decides to behead 3 escaping criminals herself. However, she starts to feel fear and becomes conflicted. Sagiri regains her composure after Gabimaru speaks out against the killings, questioning if there is another way to select the qualifiers and highlighting that not all the criminals wanted to kill willingly. The retainer gives Gabimaru a choice: he can forfeit his chance for a pardon, and a criminal will take his place on the expedition by ending him. One criminal attempts to attack Gabimaru with a rock, refusing to listen to a reason. Left with no alternative, Gabimaru ends the criminals in self-defense, burdened by the lives he has taken. Sagiri, moved by Gabimaru's action and words, realizes that she must also carry the weight of her fear and the life she takes. Aizen misinterprets Sagiri's tearful reaction as her not being ready for the task, but she corrects him, expressing her resolve to end him. With 10 criminals remaining, the retainer declares the massacre over an assignment, and they prepare to travel to the uncharted island in search of the Elixir of life. Episode 3. Gabimaru shares a flashback with Sagiri, recounting how he witnessed the chief of Iwagakure demonstrating his immortality by withstanding fatal injuries inflicted by shinobi. He believes in the existence of the Elixir of life, but doubts that it can be found on the island they have arrived at. Sagiri notices Gabimaru removing the ropes binding his hands and insists that he must keep them restrained during the mission. She threatens to execute him if he doesn't comply. During their conversation, Warped Keiyun interrupts and attacks Gabimaru. Gabimaru dislocates his neck to avoid injury and points out that Keiyun's hands are untied. Sagiri questions this, but Keiyun's monitor dismisses it. Keiyun tests his weapon on Gabimaru, who tries to convince him to focus on the mission instead. Sagiri insists that Gabimaru binds his hands again. After doing so, Gabimaru defends himself against Keiyun's attack and eventually kills him using his own weapons. Gabimaru urges Sagiri to continue their mission to find the Elixir of life. With Keiyun dead, Kisho takes his head and leaves. Sagiri expresses concern for the missing man on the island, but Kisho reminds her that the criminals are already acting outside the rules. He offers to execute Gabimaru so she can leave too, but Gabimaru stops him, emphasizing his desire to return to his wife. Kisho advises Gabimaru to hurry before the criminals decrease in number and the shogun seeks help from Iwagakure. During Kisho's explanation, Aizen is killed by Rokurota. Chobei overpowers Horubo and kills him. Suddenly, Gabimaru attacks Sagiri, but she manages to block the sword strike. Sagiri hesitates to execute him, and Gabimaru hesitates to kill her as well. Sagiri, pinned down, hears Gabimaru accepting his identity as Gabimaru the Hollow and being prepared to kill her. However, he hesitates, influenced by his wife's memory, and becomes frustrated, fearing he won't survive if he gives into his emotions. Sagiri assures Gabimaru that he has changed and she puts his sword away. Gantetsu-sai and his partner arrive on the island and encounter a human-faced butterfly. Realizing the danger, Gantetsu-sai cuts off his bitten hand to prevent a transformation. They are then surrounded by strange creatures. Meanwhile, Gabimaru and Sagiri encounter a six-armed fish creature, and Gabimaru prepares to confront it alone. Episode 4. Gantetsu-sai and Fuchi land on the island and they discuss their different perspectives. They come across man-made statues and notice a giant monster in the distance. Meanwhile, Gabimaru fights a large fish monster, but he changes plans to flee when more monsters appear. However, he decides to focus on killing the monsters and getting the pardon. Sagiri watches in awe as Gabimaru slaughters the monsters and prepares to defend herself. Despite his focus on the enemies, Gabimaru instinctively saves Sagiri from an attacking monster, surprising himself. Yuzuriha, a criminal kunoichi, approaches Gabimaru and admires his skill. Gabimaru asks her intentions and she seductively proposes a partnership. However, Gabimaru sees through her tricks and pins her down. Yuzuriha suggests forming an alliance. She offers information about the island in exchange for his strengths. Gabimaru agrees to partner with Yuzuriha. However, when she hugs him in excitement, he reminds her that he has a wife and pins her down. As they discuss their alliance, Yuzuriha tries to withhold information, revealing her true nature to Gabimaru. Meanwhile, Sagiri, feeling overwhelmed, faints. In a flashback, Toma demonstrates his sword skills to Aizen and requests to choose Asa Chobei, his older brother, as the condemned criminal. They reunite in jail and Toma tells Chobei about the Shinsenkyo expedition as a chance to escape pursuit. In the present, Chobei and Toma face the monsters on the island. Toma admires his brother's adaptability and remembers their past as bandit. Chobei, fueled by his past and refusal to be controlled, fiercely kills the monsters. Episode 5. Sagiri wakes up and joins the group in a cave. They discuss what they know about the island. Gabimaru, scouted but found nothing resembling the Elixir of life. Yuzuriha suspects he is hiding something. Gabimaru shares information about plants and bloomed samurai. After Genji advises Sagiri to return to Edo, doubting her ability to handle the mission. Yamada Tenza and his assigned criminal Nurugai try to leave the island on a boat, but encounter a wrecked ship instead. Tenza believes they can sort things out with the Shogun and return home. However, they are attacked by a large tentacle, prompting Tenza to fight back. Tenza and Nurugai encounter Kisho, whose body is sprouting flowers, and find themselves surrounded by tentacles. They manage to defeat the tentacles and find a boat to escape the island. Back on the island, Nurugai reveals that she is a girl, surprising Tenza. They discuss their plan to find a safe current and gather allies for their return. Gabimaru and Sagiri have a conversation during their night watch. Gabimaru expresses gratitude for Sagiri's support and acknowledges her strengths, which surprises her. The next day, Sagiri defies Genji's advice and chooses to walk the path of samurai despite social judgment. In the midst of their confrontation, Rokurota appears and Genji sacrifices himself to protect Sagiri. Episode 6. In a haunting flashback, Rokurota transitions from an innocent baby playing with rocks under his parents' watchful eyes to a grown man, ruthlessly slaughtering both his parents and the entire village. Genji saves Sagiri from Rokurota's attack. Injured Genji urges Sagiri to escape, while Gabimaru intervenes and kicks Rokurota to protect Sagiri. Gabimaru realizes that escape is impossible, so he prepares to fight. Meanwhile, Genji, sensing his impending death, refuses Sagiri's offer to help. Genji recognizes Sagiri's unique nature and entrusts her with his sword, asking her to fulfill his dying wish by killing Rokurota as a Yamada Asaemon. Sagiri intervenes and cuts Rokurota's finger. After they agree to assist each other, and Gabimaru devises a plan for Sagiri to behead Rokurota by cutting his legs first. They execute their plan, but Sagiri's emotional turmoil affects her ability to harm Rokurota. Sagiri realizes they need to make him hunch over to deliver the decisive blow. After Rokurota's momentary distraction allows Gabimaru to take a hit and get injured, prompting Sagiri to rush to his side. However, Sagiri remains composed and successfully defends against Rokurota's attacks by accepting both her emotions and reason, impressing Gabimaru and others. As Rokurota momentarily loses balance, Sagiri aims to behead him but misses. After Gabimaru devises an extreme plan, Gabimaru uses fire-based ninjutsu to cause a forest fire and carbon monoxide poisoning Rokurota. Strategy succeeds, and with Gabimaru holding Rokurota down, Sagiri seizes the opportunity to behead Rokurota. After they leave the fiery scene, they notice monsters being attracted to the flames and decide to follow their trail. They meet up with Yuzuriha and Senta, who are shocked to see a distant village. Meanwhile, Chobei and Toma encounter two women engaged in intimate activities. We hope you enjoyed this recap of the first 6 episodes of the Hell's Paradise. If you want to stay updated on future recaps and content related to our favorite anime series, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Stay tuned and stay entertained.